Go ahead and drop it down, Colton. Alright, so it looks like it's supporting its own weight there, which is a good sign. Go ahead and Hey guys, welcome back to the Go Bros YouTube channel. Today we're working on the front suspension of the Buggy redesign. Our first design had too much of an angle, which caused a negative mechanical advantage for our Buggy. So let's take a look at the redesign before we start building it. So this is what the new design looks like so far mocked up. We're going to have a double T design. We're going to have two posts coming up. These posts here will cut out a slot into the post so the horizontal beam can sit down in, and then we can get a good weld all the way around it. The reason we're doing two is just so we have more structural support. The first design only had one beam coming up and we were getting some play in it, and we really weren't doing anything too strenuous on the Buggy. Let's move the shocks. Now what we're doing differently on the second shock tower design is we are going to mount the shock underneath the structural arm instead of on the outside of it. When we mounted it to the outside on our first design, we were getting a bending moment and the brackets were wanting to break off from the structural beam. So the thinking behind putting it underneath is it's going to put the force more vertical into this beam here, which will then put more stress on our welds. And because we're recessing this beam into the vertical beams, we shouldn't have any issue there with any breakage or welds coming or becoming cracked or anything. Alright, so I got three pieces of metal here I got to grind up for the front shocks. It's a little bit rusty, just got to clean it up so that way we get some good welds. Alright, so I just got all three pieces of metal cleaned up here. I went ahead and marked this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but marked it out where I got to cut slots out in both of these, so that way the other horizontal beam can fit inside of it, so then we'll have all that area of contact for the welds to give us the most structural integrity, so that way our shocks don't come flying off. Alright, I'm going to get these cut up and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright, so I just got the shock uprights cut out here. Now we got a nice slot in each of these, so that way the horizontal beam can slide in between it, and that gives us a lot of contact area for welds for structural integrity. So I'm going to get this set on the Buggy and I'll show you when I get it mocked up. In the last clip I showed that we got the uprights cut out here. I now have them tacked up to the frame. That's what they're looking like. So I'm going to get that fully welded up there and get the horizontal beam cut, and I'll show you after I get that tacked up. The shock uprights are now welded up, or at least tacked. I got the top tacked here and then the bottom here welded. Pretty decent welds for the welder we have. The shocks are just setting underneath here. We're going to try setting it down to see if it'll support its own weight and give us a little rebound. Go ahead and drop it down, Colton. Alright, so it looks like it's supporting its own weight there, which is a good sign. Go ahead and give it a little push and see if we have any rebound.
Not much.
Doesn't really look like it wants to rebound
not really
back
pushing
up
a whole lot either.
at all.
Well, it's not exactly what we wanted to see, but we'll have to
maybe looking at some different shocks or
rethink our. Not really a whole lot we could do different on the geometry, because they're going to be the stiffest, the more straight up they are, and they're pretty close to all the way straight up. So we don't really have a whole lot of adjustment there. unless we tried putting two side by side. But at that point, we might as well just look into
better
different shocks.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but that's the way things go when you're doing it for the first time. Alright, so kind of an unfortunate spot to leave the video off. I think the next steps are going to either be to put two shocks in or different shocks altogether.
Hopefully we can make two shocks in the front work, and for sure we'll have to find something different for the back, just because it's a lot heavier in the back than it is the front. And we know these aren't even really close to holding it up like it needs to be. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.